Okay, apprentice pitch interview with Ewan Evans on the 21st of May 2014. I'll just start by restating the brief. So you were asked to make a quotation for a 5-minute infomercial for the wine company's website. The infomercial will feature company executives talking about products. There will also be graphics, music and stock footage. Upon completion of the project, you will provide the wine company with 5 DVD copies of the infomercial. Is that the brief as you understand it?
Absolutely.
Okay. Okay, do you have a copy of the quotation for me?
I do. Well, you want to have a look at it?
Yes, please.
Specifically, yeah? This is, I read my treatment as well because I wanted to show where the money's going exactly and a couple of comparisons to show that I was getting the best options.
Okay. So, can you just take me through it then? So start by stating the total cost and then your kind of justification on costs.
Okay, total cost is £2,800.
Okay.
That is through our productions company's desire to deliver the highest quality 5-minute infomercial that we can. We will be filming on location, so we have had to put I've got £150 earmarked for location costs for Wiggum's wine bars where we're filming, where we're going to do the kind of scene. We will be filming as well at the wine company warehouse, where obviously that would be free, that would be no cost. It's £150 for that. We're going to film it across one day, morning in the wine bar and a morning in the warehouse. So we'll only need 1 day's cost of camera equipment, which is £135. That's also cameraman and producer-director at 1 day each, at £50 an hour for labour costs. It comes to £400 each for that, so that's £800 for them. I've also got 1 day earmarked for graphics at £30 an hour through a multimedia company who also will upload it to YouTube for us. So that's all included in that cost. That comes days at £30 to £240 for that. We will need some stock footage of vineyards and wine being sourced in warehouses and in the cellars and so on that we obviously will not have time to get in our time scale. So stock footage for that will come for 2 18-second clips. So the stuff that we need is £108. And then DVDs, 5 DVDs, branded, like printed. We have all the facilities to do that. £20 for 5 DVDs. Music, we have sourced some extremely cheap royalty-free music. It's just a simple jazz backing track which suits our needs perfectly at £9.95. And then we also will cover additional costs, travel to and from shoot, lunch expenses at £50 for the week's filming, which will commence on the 2nd of June. So it's 1 week's filming from the 2nd of June. So we're doing 1 day's filming. We're doing 2 days edit. I think this is necessary to get the results you want. So edit in-house is £300 a day. So that's £600 in total. So we're filming one day at the beginning of the week. Then we have 2 days edit on the 4th of on the 5th of June. We will have a preview for the executives, show them rough, near final edit, and any changes can be voiced at that point and be discussed. Any additional editing will be free of charge. Any extra graphics and things will have to be costed up. Final graphics will be all achieved during that same period on the 2nd of the 6th. Delivery for the final edit and simultaneously uploaded to YouTube once everyone's happy is the end of the week, 6th of the 6th.
Okay.
That's my breakdown.
Okay, can I just have a look at your quotation? It's nice to have
look at this.
That's okay. Nice to have the figures in front of you.
Yeah, sure, go for it.
Okay, so you're looking at an entire week then from start to finish for the project.
Yeah.
With 1 day's filming, 2 days editing, a preview day, and then a delivery day.
Final day, yeah.
Okay.
For any tweaks and for any edits and stuff.
To be honest, I think you've covered a lot of my main questions, so I'm just going to jump right in with my big one. We have a budget for this of roughly 1,800 to a maximum of 2,500. Okay. Obviously, your price is coming over that limit. We have had other quotations which have fallen within our acceptable price range, one of which was very close to the bottom end. First of all, is there anything that you can do on that price to make it more acceptable for me and the other shareholders?
The only thing I could say, as a gesture of goodwill and with the anticipation perhaps that you would give us further work in the future, you know, if you were to say, assure me that the next time that you wanted to do your next, say, 2 infomercials, you would come direct to my company and we would batten out a similar quote, I could take 10% off our commission.
Okay.
Which would bring it down to 2,000. That'd be 2,650, and I could then also take off half a day's edit, because I'm sure like 2 days is an overestimation.
Okay.
But I just wanted to make sure that I had the time to do the job in hand. But I could take off half a day's edit, which would bring it down to 2,500.
Okay.
You're getting quality here. You've got to pay for it.
Okay. And everything is going to be HD quality?
Everything is absolutely filmed in HD on the Canon 305. So.
Stock footage as well?
Stock footage is all HD.
Okay. And
it's all specially shot for this purpose.
Is that 2 clips at 18 seconds per clip?
Actually, one's 18 seconds and one is 12 seconds, but it completely covers what we need.
Okay.
In terms of creating the atmosphere for the film.
Okay. Okay, as an interesting quotation, I like your confidence that you are going to be the absolute best, but at that price, I would expect you to be the absolute best. You mentioned that we will have a modicum of control over the final edit, and up to the review day, so on completion of our kind of preview day, we can still suggest changes and edits up to that point.
Absolutely, it's your brief, and if we don't meet the requirements, if you don't feel that we have fulfilled the brief specifically, we will of course incur any other editing costs ourselves free of charge.
Okay. You've mentioned upload to YouTube, which is great. The only other thing is the marketing manager has mentioned that the 5 DVDs are intended for distribution to basically clients and suppliers, promotional / educational. But what we'd like to know is we have a lengthy client list, a lengthy distributor list, and we'd like to provide them with copies of the DVD for use within stores or within their offices. Would we be able to make additional copies of the DVD for distribution to them?
Absolutely. On completion of the edit, all intellectual copyright will be transferred to you, the company, so you are in complete control of the distribution and images contained within your product.
And that all falls within the quotation of 2,500?
And that all falls within the quotation 2,500.
Okay. Okay, that's great. Thanks very much for coming in, and we will be in touch.
Thank you, Mr. Rutherford.